Ever hopped in a taxi and thought, man, a robot could totally do this?
Right?
Well, Tesla kind of heard you, I guess.
Yeah.
They just showed off, like, their
Uh,
whole vision for this driverless future thing.
mm,
And, wow, it's a trip and a half, let me tell you.
it's pretty wild.
So we got all the articles and notes right here,
Oh,
ready to dig in.
yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
unpack this whole thing.
Sounds good.
All right, so I guess, first off, no more to that
Yeah.
awkward chit-chat with the driver, like,
Yeah, exactly.
how's your day going?
Traffic's bad.
Yeah, exactly. But seriously, though,
Sure.
they really went all out with this tech.
Yeah.
I mean, the robotaxi, or what they're calling the CyberCab, I don't even know where to start.
I know, right?
No steering wheel, those crazy butterfly doors.
Yeah.
It's giving, like, Batman, but, for ride shares.
Right.
So, like, what's the deal with that?
Well, it's interesting you say ride sharing. Yeah.
Because that seems to be the whole angle here.
Okay.
Tesla's saying that they can get the cost per mile way down,
Mm-hmm.
like a fraction of what you pay now
Really?
for Uber or Lyft, anything like that.
Whoa. Hold on.
Yeah,
Cheaper than just, like,
Yeah.
hailing a cab on the street.
potentially, yeah.
How is that even, like,
That's a good question.
possible?
Well, it's all about the tech they're using.
Okay.
They're really, really going all in on this
Yeah.
vision-based system for autonomous driving.
Okay.
And they're ditching the LiDAR sensors.
And remind me,
Yeah.
for those of us who aren't,
Right.
tech wizards, like, what's LiDAR again?
LiDAR, it's basically like giving a car eyes
Okay.
that can see in 3D,
I see.
but it's really expensive.
Okay.
And Tesla's argument is that their vision-only AI, powered by just cameras and machine learning,
Mm-hmm.
can get the same results, maybe even better.
Huh.
And more importantly, it can scale up.
Way faster and cheaper.
I see.
Think about it. They've got millions of Teslas already out there.
True, yeah.
Driving around. Every mile, they're collecting data.
Right.
And they're using that to train the AI.
That's actually kind of brilliant.
It's a huge advantage they've
Yeah.
got over the competition.
So it's like one massive driving test.
Yeah,
But the student is like a supercomputer.
exactly.
That's really interesting.
It's pretty cool.
But is ditching LiDAR really, like, revolutionary?
That's a good question.
Don't other companies use, like, some vision stuff too?
Yeah, to some degree.
Okay.
But Tesla's going all in. Like, this is it.
Wow.
They're betting everything on
The whole future.
Yeah, the whole autonomous future.
Wow.
Plus, they're designing the CyberCab
Right.
specifically for this system.
Instead,
So the hardware and software are completely integrated.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're all in on their AI. They're cutting costs with the no LiDAR. But how does that, like, actually make the rides cheaper?
Well, for one, operational efficiency.
Okay.
No driver means no labor costs.
Right.
And that's a huge part of what you're paying for now.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I didn't think about that.
So, Uber, Lyft, taxis.
Yeah.
Plus, the CyberCab itself is simpler.
Okay.
It's small, it's electric,
Right.
two-seater.
Yeah.
All of that makes it cheaper to build
Interesting.
and maintain.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I did read somewhere that they're aiming for, like, a price tag
Yeah.
under $30,000
They are,
for
yeah.
the CyberCab.
It's ambitious.
That's actually surprisingly affordable
Right.
if they can actually pull it off. I mean,
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right?
yeah,
Can they actually scale up production to
Yeah.
the point where,
everyone's got one.
they're affordable?
Yeah.
That's a huge challenge, even for Tesla.
I bet.
And then you've got the regulations, public perception.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean,
Right. It's a whole other beast.
what about, like, the actual infrastructure,
Right.
charging stations, all that?
Exactly. Exactly.
Someone's got to build all that.
Yeah, it's a long road ahead
Yeah.
from prototype to reality.
True. True.
But you can't really underestimate Tesla.
That's true.
They've shaken things up before.
They have.
Majorly.
Yeah, they're not afraid to, like, disrupt things.
Exactly.
And they weren't just content with just the CyberCab, right?
No, not at all.
They also had that Robovan thing,
The Robovan.
which is, well, it's no minivan, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not your soccer mom's car.
Definitely not.
No way.
What would you even call that thing?
It's like a sleek van train hybrid.
Yeah, and it carries like 20 people.
Yeah, 20 people, they said.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of passengers.
It looks like something straight out of
I know, right?
a sci-fi movie.
Oh,
It's giving me very much
yeah.
future of public transit vibes
It makes sense, right? Yeah.
with that many people.
Yeah, for sure.
It has to be.
But knowing Tesla, though, they've
Yeah.
probably got some other plans up their sleeve for that thing.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what else are you going to use a giant, sleek van for?
Right. Exactly. Who knows what they're thinking?
I'm very curious to hear more about that Robovan.
Yeah.
And, like, how it plays into their, their whole strategy.
Their big master plan.
Yeah, because it feels like they're aiming for something bigger than just...
Oh, for sure.
Replacing cars,
Right. It's not just about the vehicles themselves.
Yeah.
It's about the entire system.
Exactly.
And how it all fits together.
Yeah, the implications.
Yeah, absolutely.
Way beyond just getting from point A to point B.
Exactly. It's about how we live, how we work.
Yeah.
How our cities are designed.
It's huge.
It really is.
Okay, so we've got these futuristic vehicles.
Yeah.
But what about actually navigating these cities once we arrive? That's a great question, and a perfect place to pick up after a quick break.
We'll be right back. All right, so we're picturing this, like, super sleek future.
Yeah.
With robotaxis and these, like, futuristic vans. Yeah. Just, like, gliding through the city.
Spin around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what about, like, actually getting around in those cities once we get there?
Good point.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I still need to walk down the street to get to, like, the restaurant or whatever.
Right. So that brings us to the Tesla bot.
Oh, right.
Or Optimus Gen2, as they're calling it now.
Okay, Optimus Prime. Got it.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
But, this robot thing might seem kind of like a sideshow next to,
Right. Compared to the cars.
The CyberCab and the Robovan.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's actually pretty crucial to their whole vision.
Okay, because honestly, like, a robot that can, mix cocktails and dance doesn't really scream like practical everyday use.
Yeah, it's a little on the nose.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a bigger picture here.
Okay, all right, I'll bite.
So think about it. Tesla's end game, right,
okay,
is to make everything run on AI.
Right.
And what says AI future more than a robot?
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
That can learn and do stuff alongside us.
Yeah.
Remember those shots of it, like navigating around the factory floor?
Yeah, they were showing that.
That's what they're going for.
Okay.
Robots that just blend right into our world.
Wow.
Not just on the road,
yeah,
but in our houses, at our jobs.
Okay, I got to admit, the thought of a robot that could, like, tidy up my apartment while I'm out riding around in my CyberCab.
Yeah, who wouldn't want that?
That's pretty tempting.
Right.
But what about, like, those ethical questions we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what happens when robots are so advanced that they can just, like, do people's jobs?
Right, and not just, like, truck drivers or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, like across the board.
Across all kinds of industries, that's the big question, isn't it?
It's a big one.
And it's something we all have to figure out.
Yeah.
Not just Tesla, but, like, society as a whole.
Right, for sure.
But remember, Tesla's not just saying robots will be tools.
Okay.
They're saying they'll be companions.
Companions, okay.
Musk even set a price point like 20 to 30 grand.
Really?
Yeah, that's like a new car. But instead of driving you around, it's like making your life easier in a bunch of other ways.
Interesting. Okay.
So.
I mean, that's all well and good.
Yeah.
But what about this whole thing with them saying that their self-driving tech is safer than human drivers?
Right.
Like, I got to be honest, I'm a little skeptical about letting a computer take the wheel,
I think that's totally fair. That's skepticism.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Tesla's betting everything on this.
Okay.
On what they call full self-driving, FSD.
FSD, right.
And their approach is really different from everyone else.
Okay, break it down for me. How so?
So it's all about data, right?
Okay.
Most self-driving systems, they use simulations and data from, like, test vehicles driving in controlled environments.
Right.
But Tesla's using their whole fleet.
Oh, wow.
Millions of cars.
Wow, that's a lot of data.
All those Teslas, they've got the cameras, the sensors.
Right.
Collecting real-world data every single day.
So it's like having millions of drivers.
Exactly.
All feeding information to this, like.
It's crowdsourced AI training.
Wow.
On a global scale.
That's actually kind of genius.
And because Tesla controls the hardware and the software, they can adapt and improve super quickly.
That's smart. I got to hand it to them.
Yeah.
But safer? Like, that's a pretty loaded word. Totally. What does that even mean in this context?
That's where it gets kind of tricky. Tesla says their FSD is statistically less likely to crash
than
a human. But those statistics can be misleading.
Okay, how so?
Well, for one,
Yeah.
they're comparing their system, which is still being worked on,
Right.
to all human drivers. And let's be real, humans are not great drivers.
We're pretty bad.
We get distracted, we get tired.
Oh, yeah, we make bad decisions.
Exactly.
We've all been cut off by that guy on his phone.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, I see your point.
Right.
But even if their numbers are totally legit,
Right.
there's still the whole
There's the human element.
public perception, right?
Exactly.
People have to actually feel safe
It's your goal.
getting in these things.
For sure.
Even if Tesla figures out the tech,
Yeah.
gets the rules figured out,
Gets everyone on board.
they got to win people over.
Yeah.
Build trust.
That's a tough one.
Show that this isn't just about efficiency.
Right.
It's about safety for everybody. It's true. It's not just a tech challenge then.
Not at all.
It's like a social, cultural thing.
Totally.
It really makes you think, like, what happens to cities?
Exactly.
If Tesla actually makes this happen,
Yeah.
it'll change everything.
Think about it. Cities designed around people.
Right.
And autonomous vehicles, less cars, less traffic.
More green spaces. I love it.
The environmental impact.
Yeah, it's huge.
People who can't drive now, they'd have freedom.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
It's a future worth working towards. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But even with all that good stuff,
Yeah.
there's still a ton we don't know.
Right, like what happens to truckers
Exactly.
if self-driving trucks take over?
Right. What about public transit?
Yeah, if robo-taxis are just cheaper and easier, why would you?
Exactly. No easy answers to those questions.
Wow, it's a lot.
But one thing's for sure.
Yeah.
This whole driverless thing, whether it's Tesla or someone else, it's making us think about some big stuff.
It really is. It's a lot to process.
It is.
But I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
Exactly.
To dive into this stuff, explore different angles,
That's the goal.
and hopefully, like, come away with a little more understanding
Absolutely.
of this crazy world.
It's a wild ride.
It really is.
For sure.
So, speaking of wild rides,
Yeah.
let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about the challenges, the roadblocks.
Yeah, the real world.
Yeah, the real world stuff that Tesla's got to face
Exactly.
to make this driverless future a reality.
Right. Let's do it.
Okay, so we've got these amazing futuristic vehicles.
Yeah.
But, like, let's be real.
Right.
How do we actually get these things on the road?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah, like what needs to happen?
Well, I mean, first off,
Yeah.
the tech has got to be ready for the big leagues, you know?
Okay, yeah.
And I don't just mean, like, does it work?
Right.
But is it reliable?
Yeah.
Is it safe?
Right.
In all kinds of situations.
Like real world situation.
Exactly. Remember all those early self-driving tests?
Yeah, like where the cars would...
Where they'd get confused by, like, lane markings?
Yeah, or like a plastic bag blowing in the wind.
Exactly. Sun glare, shadow.
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of funny then.
It was funny then, but...
Not so funny if it's...
Yeah, if it's your robo-taxi.
Yeah, in rush hour.
Exactly. So before Tesla's putting these things out there, they got to prove this system can handle anything.
Yeah, not just on some empty test track either.
Right. I'm talking about real cities.
Yeah.
With pedestrians, cyclists, you know, the works.
That whole chaotic mess.
Exactly, the whole 9 years.
So it's not even just about the tech working.
Right.
It's about proving it works all the time, everywhere.
100%. No room for error.
Wow.
And then there's the government.
Right, because I'm sure they've got something to say about all this.
Oh, absolutely. Regulation is huge.
Yeah.
It's a minefield out there.
Really?
Every country, every state.
Oh, wow.
They've all got their own rules, their own laws.
And about self-driving.
Yeah. For autonomous vehicles in general.
Wow, I had no idea. It was so complicated.
It's a mess, and someone's got to make sense of it.
So how do they even start?
Well, they need to agree on safety standards.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then, like, create a system that allows for innovation.
Okay.
But also keeps people safe.
Right, right. Because we don't want to stifle progress.
Exactly.
But we also don't want people,
Right.
crashing into each other.
It's a tough balance.
It is. It sounds like a logistical nightmare.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then you've got the whole public perception thing.
Oh, yeah, huge.
People need to actually want to get in these things.
Absolutely.
Right. Like they need to feel safe.
100%. Even if Tesla nails the tech.
Yeah.
Even if the government gives them the green light.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if no one wants to ride in them.
Exactly. They've got to win over the public.
It's true. And that's a tough one, right?
It's a big one. They got to address people's fears.
Yeah.
Build trust.
And show that this technology is actually going to make things better.
Exactly. It's not just about being cool or futuristic.
It's about making the roads safer for everybody.
Exactly. It's a social challenge, not just a tech one.
It really makes you think.
Yeah.
Like, if Tesla actually pulls this off,
Right.
it's not just how we get around that changes.
Oh, everything.
Yeah, it's how we live, how we work.
Our cities, Everything.
Imagine cities designed for people and not cars.
Less congestion, more green spaces.
Think about the environmental benefits.
Oh, yeah, a fully electric transportation system.
That's huge.
It could give people who can't drive now a whole new level of freedom.
It's amazing when you think about it.
It really is, but
even with all that potential, there's still so much we just don't know.
Absolutely. It's the unknown unknowns, right?
Like what happens to truck drivers if self-driving trucks become the norm?
Right, exactly. And what about public transportation?
Yeah, if robotaxis are just cheaper and easier.
Right. Why even bother with buses and trains?
It's a lot to consider.
It really is.
It's like we're on the edge of this whole new world.
We are. It's exciting and terrifying at the same time.
Totally. And whether Tesla's leading the charge or not,
It's happening.
this driverless future,
It's coming.
it's making us ask some really big questions.
It is about the role of technology.
Yeah, like what do we want our world to look like?
What kind of future are we building?
That's a lot to unpack.
It is, and we're just scratching the surface.
That's what makes it so fascinating, though, right?
Absolutely. It's a wild time to be alive.
It really is. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
thanks for taking this wild ride with us.
Of course. Always a pleasure.
And until next time, keep your eyes on the road, everyone.
And maybe, like you said, on the robot driving next to you.